All right, here we go. Chat, let's take a little nostalgic dive into the blast from the past with a Corridors of Time video. The entire Destiny community just got puzzled by Evan F. 1997, aka my bald roommate.
This was shot in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/Sweatcicle.
Videos from players around the community. Their links will be in the description of this video, as well as the music too. I want to give a massive shout out to literally everyone that is in the Destiny community.
That's you!
All of you. Actually, all of you. Without your help revealing codes, none of this would be possible. So if I show clips of people or spreadsheets, say names, just know you're still a part of it all. I just can't add all of the names. Thank you. Never did I think Bungie would have hit us with a puzzle this elaborate and collaborative in the same season that we had an exotic quest that took us 15 minutes to complete. Orders of Time has not only been one of my favorite games of all time, but serves as a beautiful spiritual successor to Niobe Labs and Outbreak Prime. We have a big story to tell, including secret missions, lore to reality, magic hexagons, ARG sequences, community collaboration, spreadsheet stories, and to top it all off, a jarring climax. Bust out your thinking tinfoil hat and come through a journey of time with me as we talk about the forest that is truly infinite, Niobe Labs 2, Vex Boogaloo. We already have videos on the channel dedicated to these stories, but it's important that I talk about them again. Bungie is no stranger to excellent puzzles and communities coming together. I mean, hell, Luke Smith and his team on World of Warcraft were the first to complete the Scepter in the Shifting Sands, and he still has the title of Scarab Lord on World of Warcraft now. I've never played World of Warcraft, but reading up on these steps involved for that sounds reflective of what is done in the philosophy of these community events in Destiny. Outbreak Prime, for example, had players looking through an Owl Sector rabbit hole, then getting a sequence of codes for the ARG map of the room, to get a final piece to start the quest of the weapon. Niobe Labs had players using ideals from the lore of the Forges and mapping together their clues for Niobe to help them solve a very difficult enemy-filled race against the clock challenge. Even more recent than those two events, Bungie gave everyone who owned the collector's edition of Shadowkeep a rune to solve the puzzle, and when opened, it had little unreadable codes for each person, with hundreds of different codes to read.
I forgot I still have that, bro. These collector's editions for Shadowkeep go for like $200 on eBay. I think I'm about to sell mine. Low-key. People love that thing.
Community forming chapters of lore from it. All of these will strike in similarity with this new secret event in Destiny. But I want to make the message clear. These are all very well done events, and this one may take the prize as the best puzzle we have ever seen Bungie do, but also the most perplexing
I would say
finale.
So, maybe.
So,
I think.
On to the story of the community that
maybe not the reward.
Code.
It's up there for sure, though.
January 14, 2020, Bungie Help released a statement that server maintenance will be delayed and that new hotfix will not be put into the game. This threw me for a loop when I woke up to everyone tweeting that Osiris had a non-advertised mission and that it was just to explore the corridors of time. Myself and many others immediately jumped on to see what the heck this could all be about. But we also knew this wasn't the first time Bungie has dropped something like this on us. The thing that was off for me at first was, why did Osiris have the secret mission? These missions are usually hidden in other places around the world, or in the case of Niobe Labs, in a sequence of symbols to even start. But what we would all come to find out later is that that was the point. Osiris gave us the quest, and it wasn't a hassle to start because we would be here looking for answers for days, or if you waited, weeks. But more on that later. You were thrown into the corridors of time with no real objective, just...
Okay, let's take a second. Listen, man, I'm all for cool shit, but why did we have to pick the most flashbang, brightest aesthetic we could possibly choose? All white? Really, dude? This is literally how you burn your eyes out of your sockets staring at this for 40 hours straight, bro.
objective, just to explore this truly infinite forest with an array of symbols, and I want you to pay attention to these callouts because they will come into play a lot in the time spent doing this puzzle. Traveler, Clover, Diamond,
Oh god.
Hex, Snake,
The numbers.
Plus, and for later on, a blank space. All of these outside of Traveler and Blank are going to be potential doorways every single time you need them for a sequence of doors. Think about it like this. You have 5 potential paths each time you enter a room in a 7 sequence code to reach what we will call a checkpoint. To even guess one right room in the sequence is 1 in 5. Now do that 7 times of guessing the correct path.
Easy.
You are left with the chance of guessing one path at 1 in 78,125.
Dude, back then, if everybody got on the game, there's at least a few people making it through. Easily. Easily, bro.
Now keep
That's
in
not
mind
even
there
that
are
bad.
18 7-sequence paths to find, one 11-sequence path, and then the final path, which we will get to later in the video. And you have a hell of a guessing game at hand, or you have clues hourly. You know that grandfather clock at your parents' house that's so loud and you just ask yourself why even have it if it makes this loud ring, and ow, my ears, why are they so loud? Anyways, these clocks reveal that the top of the hour is significant in some way, and this is also the case for the obelisk inside of Destiny 2. The Season of Dawn introduced these obelisks for Guardians to connect planet to moon to shore, and even the tower for some purpose that we will probably be shown at the end of the season.
Why do I not remember
But these
this?
obelisks had an odd thing about them. Symbols. Symbols much like the ones we already described around the outside. What we didn't know until this event was well underway was that the obelisks were the key to the sequence. At the top of every hour, the obelisk would spit out a bunch of symbols in a different order for players to relay to the teammates inside the corridors of time. The way to read this was always the same on the obelisk, with one starting top right, then moving clockwise till the 7th symbol was in the middle. Once you ran through these 7 sequences, you made it to a room called the Time Lost Vault.
Oh, we're just back here.
That's Sweatcicle!
Looked below you.
Yeah. Okay. So, people gotta start taking screenshots. I'm assuming people have already. God. So, oh my god. Is this gonna have to do something? Do not sit there and say, I don't see a difference, bro. Are you kidding me? Are you for real right now? I will permaban all of you.
With like fucking hex code, dude, because I am not good with hex code.
Still not.
Oh, what the frick?
Language, bro.
What is that? Is that step 1?
What was this? The Time Lost Vault had 2 major keys in it, a piece of lore to collect and a puzzle piece in the center. This piece would be a small piece of the map to the end goal. Here's the catch though. Every hour, we knew a new route to that goal. This started out with many hardcore players asking themselves, why would Bungie give us the answer every hour? I want to solve it myself, not have it hand-fed. Well, this quickly became, holy crap, the answer is taking too long to get here. Someone please make it 30 minutes. I want to see my hexagons. Players were so perplexed by these 6-sided panels around the middle hexagon and the lights in the center of the hexagon. I want to break this down so nobody feels confused in the future, but I kinda doubt that this will make full sense still. These rooms were actually puzzle pieces. You hit the question mark, and 3 things happen. Number 1, you received lore. Number 2, you saw a grave with a sword, a ghost, and a guardian crest at the foot. Was this a teaser for the reward?
We're dead, chat.
And number 3,
Dead.
you looked down and saw the symbol in the middle with surrounding doors and symbols. This hexagon was made up of parts to connect onto a map.
Actually,
The
61
middle symbol
pixels.
meant that you were going through that symbol's door. But the lights
See, again, like, we could not make this any more difficult to see, bro. Like, you can see it if you understand it. But like, bro, it's white on white on white, bro.
Lack thereof,
Come on.
were created in a way that you needed to reorder your symbol path to fit them. But the clue was the outside.
Wait, I actually just realized it is so much more visible for you guys than it is for me on my monitor for some reason.
Hexagons,
and I don't know why.
Which needed something to mirror to be able to connect. So for example, if I had Traveler, Traveler, Hex, Hex, Snake, Traveler, Traveler on one side, that meant I had to mirror those little symbols to another one for it to fit. See, I told you it wouldn't really make sense. This went on for a long time, and players truly were trying to brute force this early to find the end. But players were going to be in for one.
People are just, they're out here saying some dumb shit, dude. I'm trying to make progress. This eliminates probabilities, so that means we only have a better chance going forward. Like, you don't need to come in here. Oh, I told you. Oh, I knew you were gonna fail. I knew you weren't gonna get it. Oh, I knew it. Bro.
Still true to this day, bro. Still true. And I would like to make it clear for the record, one of my guesses was only 2 symbols away. For the record, okay? You know, if you gamble, sometimes you almost win.
That is not helping.
We knew about 2 symbols thanks to a Bungie press kit that had been leaked earlier, thank you Lono, and other than that, we didn't know the rest. Players tried to use other symbols as clues to put together to the next route, but there just wasn't a route to be had. The obelisks were the only way.
Don't we have that
so
down,
once
Bex?
all except for 3 remaining were found.
Like, look at this, dude. I'm getting flashbacks, bro. Look at this. When we had to sit, you guys remember? We literally, I had like 6 spreadsheets. Everybody in chat would literally like input all their stuff. It was like the craziest shit I've ever seen. I've never seen the Destiny community come more together. Okay, that just come together more. I just shut up. Then this event, okay?
The community came together in bulk.
See, he said it too, dude.
This is where the community clustered together. With over 1,000 possibilities left and only 3 codes out, this was madness as far as which route to take. But who cares about chances when thousands of people in the Destiny community were able to find our huge path we had been waiting all day for, and over 1,000 possibilities remaining in only, 20 minutes. Yeah, the community found the path in 20 minutes. It was time to beat the secret mission, grab the sword off the grave, and slay out. This was about to be a pretty cool one-day event, and oh, an emblem too. Yeah, no worries. I'll just be taking my Why did I get teleported back here? Oh no. It's not over!
I hear music.
Yeah, don't say anything yet.
It is confirmed that it does lead you somewhere, yes.
Okay, that's all we needed.
Look at this
Thank
guy.
you very much, kind people. Plus, facts.
All right, here we go.
That was plus next to facts. I really
Okay,
hope I haven't messed
screenshot,
this up.
screenshot.
Oh wait, is it another code or no?
Wait,
Is it done?
wait. What the?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Hold on.
No, but we need to know if it's another code. Like
Yo,
this is
wait.
a-
It very
Oh,
obviously is
yeah.
another
We need to screenshot
code.
this right now.
Okay.
Reveal. Savior of the past. Is that it?
Oh boy. How innocent we were on day 1. You received lore, an emblem, and a new code when you made it to the seemingly final room. But no mission complete, and hey, my friend revealed a different code than me.
I'll get it after, John.
Why can I keep revealing codes? Players originally had speculated a couple of ideas. Number 1, we were going to have to wait for all the other hint rooms and do those. That was quickly debunked. And number 2, theories of taking just your fire team and redoing the other sequences but with your new codes were had. But the main problem with this was that the middle symbol most of the time was actually a blank. This wasn't a glitch, this was for real. we were about to be in this room for the next 6 days. From being a part of the main team of streamers, data wizards, map artists, and transcribers, some of these stories I will share will be the first time anyone is ever hearing these publicly. So get ready, because just like the puzzle itself, the video really begins here.
Look at all that data. Yeah, baby, here we go.
Night 1 was a shock to all of us. Not only were we just beginning this puzzle, but when the realization of how long this was going to take hit us, we were baffled.
It's like some kind of so much raw data. Wouldn't it be like pretty easy to find like matches?
No, because
You
we
would
haven't
think.
found a lot of sequences.
You
dude.
would
Remember?
think that.
You would
Remember.
And yet. And yet.
It'd be only like 19 different new symbols, not like
No.
No,
Dude.
we think this one is much, much bigger than the
Dude,
original. Like, by
100
orders
I
of
forgot there were
Raid
2 layers to
secrets
this, to
couldn't
be
have
honest with you.
one
I thought it was
match
just this
on
big
the
one.
appropriate hour.
I found one match in 2 hours.
Yeah, it's massive. This database is going to be, we're in for one. Yes, you heard that clip correctly. One match in 2 hours on Raid Secrets Discord. That was surprising given that we were about to need 5,040 total unique pieces, and we would need to match almost all of them to find a path to the solution. Originally on night 1, we were throwing all of our community photos into a Google Drive that was shared, thinking that, well, there can't be that many and this would organize them. But we were thinking on a smaller scale since the final one to get here was only 18 pieces. So it wasn't unrealistic that we were going to be looking at the max 1,000
dude.
range, given how Outbreak Prime's ARG was around 1,000 pieces as well. We were originally counting the number of sides that had blanks to throw the picks in at first, but this quickly sparked confusion as the community was mistaking the reveal room unique codes for the rooms before it. Also, this was just not an efficient way to sort through data. Day/night number 2 kicks off, and wow, do we have a different system entirely. We have now ascended into spreadsheets and mapping out data entry points.
Yay.
TJ09 built a code that would map our data for us, and without this, we wouldn't be where we are. So a huge shout out to TJ. This was about to be huge. This was our old map. Okay, ponder that for a second, and boom, that's our new map. My job at first
God, I remember
is
this.
what I will refer to as toothpaste capping. It felt like the factory job since I was rotating players into my game to screenshot their
Yep.
unique code. I want to add something I didn't say earlier as well. The unique code changed every hour for a max of 2 hours per character.
Dude, I forgot some people would invert their colors so it wouldn't be flashbang. Also, Smitty Werben Jaggerman Jensen joined the fire team. That's awesome.
For a total amount of codes per your account
The
being
GOAT.
6. So every hour
He
you got a
was
new code for a max
number
of
one.
2 per character. People were rotating into the game in masses. I don't even think I ever had a point where someone wasn't in my game. The reason why I especially was taking screenshots and putting them into a spreadsheet for the rest to transcribe was because other than the organization, it was also meant for us to take a nice clear image of the floor. Just look at some of the bad screenshots we received. I wish so badly in the next puzzle, the room is dark for my eyes' sake.
It's the
and
thought
there's
that
a
counts,
spot where
dude.
players can take their screenshots very clearly. For all the screenshots that myself and many others in the community were taking and adding, it just wasn't enough. Just like the sleep we were about to be having this week. Transcribers and data entry team was going to have another problem of their own.
Give it up for day 3.
This is the day that we decided to bring in another coding expert outside of our own. We met another person that without their program for our spreadsheet, none of this would be done
No
yet.
big deal.
Zycor built a code
yeah, it
that
wasn't
would
me. It was not
auto-sort
me.
our transcribed data.
If the entire piece, like all 6 links, and the symbol and the openings match.
So think about it like this. If you're entering a ton of unique pieces, it's hard to keep track of everything, right? How do you make sure that what you're entering in isn't a duplicate? So think about it like this. If you are entering a ton of unique pieces, it's hard to keep track of everything, right? How do you make sure that what you're entering is
Thank you for the 57 Drax. Appreciate you.
a duplicate? Use this system that he built. With this, anything that showed up in column M was detecting if the piece was a dupe or not. So any false or unique would automatically show up as so, and if it was true, you knew to stop there. We went from 300 transcribed data points to 1,129 in a day. Here's another major problem that we discovered though, by having this. We had made a ton of transcribing errors, and this was not going to be a fast process to fix. Oh, for f***'s sake. Dude, now my shit isn't...
Revoke their access.
Yeah, chat, your fault.
Clyde, are you Anonymous Pumpkin?
What kind of name?
What did you just say to me?
Dude, that is a classic, dude. I forgot about
When I say
that.
that
We need that as like a blurb, bro.
by this point we had 9,000 data entries, that sounds good. But I'd say
The
a good
anonymous pumpkin
7,800 were going to need to be scrapped. But lots of people in the community just kept going while some spent over 24 hours fixing these data entry points. This was causing madness to occur.
Coming in for the first time today on the Corridors of Time puzzle is Enigma, rocking a hunter cloak and a nice gun there, running all the way down straight line, and not anything going to get in his way to contribute to this massive Herculean effort to solve this puzzle. He's in and he's out, smacked and gone. Kohler's turn now, coming in with his Titan, not waiting his turn though, just jumping right up on the edge of the line. He wouldn't do well at a water park, probably would trip on his friends. Gonna get him in and out just like the rest. Thanks so much for your contribution, Kohler.
What does that even mean?
Come back again on the next hour. We'll get you in here for the gigantic Corridors of Time puzzle, brought to you in part by Bungie and the tenacious Destiny community. We out here.
It fingers fucking hamster.
You had to be there, man. You had to be there. Chat. Unfortunately, that's my raid teammate, bro. This is my raid teammate.
Look very, very clear. These are the days where the whole community was coming together and working harder than ever, to the point where you literally had people sleeping on stream.
Oh, dude. This is a classic, man. This is a classic. Top 5 Sweatcicle moments. Is he gonna show the other clip here? Why does he look like he's... Why does this look like that Pikachu picture, bro? He's got the pitched tent, bro.
We were going to need help. I don't mean in the sense of sharing data. No, I mean in
So
the...
he missed the... I don't know if he's going to show it later, maybe in like the bloopers. I don't remember. But when after I was like about to fall asleep, I remember that first night when I went to go lay down there, Modern came up and shot me with a confetti cannon. Because someone, I think he typed in chat, if someone gives 50, I'll shoot Sweat with a confetti cannon. And bro, pop!
sense of teams to transcribe, screenshot, dump data, and map.
Then I had to clean it
This was
up.
already happening on day number 3, but day 4 and 5, I'm not even joking when I say we were receiving resumes from people and that we legitimately had a hiring process for people to be taking on these jobs. It was officially like working a 9 to 5, except much longer hours, much like a 9 to 5. We had people who were showing us their stuff that we had to even fire some for jobs. We had people who couldn't commit to long term, and then we had the Rat Pack, who were like coked out monsters in a Wolf of Wall Street like office. Seriously, when I say that 500 data entry points needed to be transcribed and the Rat Pack was done in 30 minutes, I mean it.
It sounds like you're a fucking legend.
Yeah,
It
you're a
sounds
trooper.
like
Yes,
it
sir.
sounds like Bad Luck Brian on steroids.
Yeah. Also,
Sounds like you need a rat in your life.
Zycor, the data set you just gave me, half of them have zeros in the opening.
We also had a ton of help from other communities such as chat rooms, discords, Reddit communities, and other websites along the way. This was truly a community project from the ground up, and a big thank you to everyone out there who helped, but we are not done. By the end of day number 5, it was apparent we were going to need certain puzzle pieces to begin mapping out our route. Anyone who wanted to try and brute force was going to be running into some problems with their official amount of unique codes being 5,040, which is 7 factorial. Bungie really loves their 7s, and the possible route ranging from 30 to 50 potential doors to be open. You were looking at odds in the 20 to 70 million chance range, since you didn't know all the symbols and you didn't know if a puzzle piece door was going to be blocked on the map. The map had also hit the point where we knew it was going to be a full-on maze for us to draw through, just like the 18-piece one before it. Another thing that I noticed to be very cool during my time taking screenshots was that the emblem you got for hitting the reveal also had a purpose. Sure, the emblem was a
Did it?
reward for hitting the reveal room, but it was also an incentive for players to show their code. Think about it like this. If you were to give thousands of people the option to come in and help a puzzle they wouldn't get a reward for until it was solved,
True.
sure, some would help, but not everyone. This emblem ensured that people were revealing their codes, and we found that by day number 4, Bungie was rotating a new code for everyone every hour, each character. Instead of a max of 6, you now had a max of 72 per day. We went from 2680 to 3460 contiguous puzzle pieces in 4 hours, as compared to about 100 in the 5 hours before it. We were getting very close, but a few obstacles still stood in our way.
Ah, yes. The gatekeepers. Never forget, man.
I am all for I am all for collaborating I am all for collaboration and helping one another, and oppose gatekeeping information because it just feels wrong. During this process, there were so many accusations
if I still have these sheets in my Google
for
Drive.
other sites, Discords, Reddits, etc., that we literally had to make a Reddit thread to answer everybody's questions. This was simply not true. All data was made available as soon as we possibly could have made it. The other problem with letting everyone see the sheet we were working away at every second was that Google Sheets couldn't keep up and was slow from the traffic.
Yep.
So slow and so much data on these that Google shut us down actually. They shut us down and thought we were trying to flood their servers, or in other terms, DDoS them. This was such a hard topic to talk about because I feel what I'm about to say will upset some greatly, but that is not my intent. We tried so many different spreadsheets, data collection, other websites, and slowed down a lot to try to work with everyone because, let's be real, this wouldn't even be possible without everyone. The problem here is that we may have worked with almost too many different sites and data entries. Look, there's nothing wrong with this, and I love that so many wanted to collaborate data, but I also felt that this may have slowed us down in doing so. The main reason is that we already had a process that was working, and then it was like shifting new corridor management every day. Some methods were great, but data wasn't transcribed well. Others had great data, but the sites had trouble working. This is a tough balancing act because everyone should be included, but we also had a system that we were just banging out data and getting it done.
Yeah, so to elaborate on this a little bit more, I remember because Evan and I were working on the same thing. I'd set up a bunch of sheets, and I think, like, I had people in chat helping transcribe, like people in the community. I swear to God, we had like 3 sheets full of data. And by the time I went to bed and I sent it over to people, we woke up and they're like, yeah, we're not using that. I'm like, bro, like how many people just spent how many hours and like our data is just getting thrown out the window? I don't know, man.
Also created
It's
a
a very
negative
weird
headspace
situation
in the process because nobody was sleeping and there was a clash on what we should be doing constantly.
Yeah.
But this turned into a group eventually. I think this will serve as a learning curve for everyone involved in future puzzles going forward.
Which is the problem that, like, I'm afraid they're going to run into. Well, not necessarily. The problem that they ran into here is that, like, it became a game of control. There was, like, 1 or 2 people that only wanted it to be done a certain way and didn't want help from anybody else. Which is why a lot of the people in the community felt left out and not included in this type of thing. So I was kind of surprised they did something similar with this chess thing going on. You know? People wanted to take the lead. No, but there's a big difference between taking the lead and like shutting other people out. There's a big difference there. Thanks for the 7 months, Kona. Did it get done? Yes, but it was like kind of annoying for other people who worked really hard just transcribing data.
The day that we were going to beat this damn puzzle, the day that the map was going to be given a path, and the day that we could all reflect on the crazy week it had been. As we neared the final hours, we shifted from data collection to mostly just bounty hunting puzzle pieces. It was insane because due to the viewership through streams and social media, we were able to track all of our bounties in very short time.
Glad with a hat on.
The final stretch to the madness being over was happening. Zykor pulled a play that only few knew about. He decided to put in a fake symbol at the end, a diamond. This could have easily thrown us into a different room or the correct path. In the final moments, the data team, streamers, map editors, and transcribers were pulled into one voice channel to go over the code, and the rest was history.
5, 4.
Yeah, this is also weird because they gatekept the answer from us. All the all the data people gatekept the answer. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to release it to everybody at the same time instead of just like, they had someone go verify it, and it was just, it was so weird.
3, 2,
it was
1,
so weird,
posting, bro. Posting. The sequence is ready to write it down.
Yeah.
Clover, diamond, snake, clover, plus, hex, plus, diamond, plus, snake, diamond, clover, snake, plus, snake, hex, diamond, clover, plus, diamond, hex, diamond, plus, diamond.
Bro, just plus. And diamond. Here we go, chat. Moment of truth. Where are we gonna get a marker? Objective complete, boys. Objective complete. Let's go.
But we're 100% sure we followed what he said, right?
Yep, this is it. All right, deafen.
Deafening.
Holy shit. What the fuck? Holy shit.
Evan, watch your language. Bitch.
I love these guys. I love all of you in chat, man. I fucking love all of you in chat, dude. We fucking did it, man.
Favorite weapons. One of her favorite weapons.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. To be fair, it's actually kind of good now. But up until recently, for 5 years.
It's a sword.
I've marked this grave with one of his favorite weapons. Shattered in the fight.
It's a weapon. It's a sword. It has to be a sword.
You've explored the corridors of time and discovered a timeline where your journey ends. Chronometric weapon core and
Lamau, I was glad so hyped. Okay, two things. This actually was kind of hype back then because we had been working on this for a week. Two, Glad was at like 34,000 subs. So, bro, he's taping a shoe to his head. He's riding the high, bro.
Exploring the corridors of time quest step 2.
Go back to Saint. Go back to Saint. Wait, what the?
Oh,
What was
Fractaline.
that core that we got?
The end? What? What is that? What is that? What
Like how Evan blurped out
Yes,
his own
that
F-bombs,
was
but not
me
Clyde's.
legitimately crying. With over 100 hours put in by almost everyone from this community and all the others listed in the graphic,
Keep
this
the
moment
memento.
was special and culminated everything we love about this community. Now, was it time to claim our sword?
Yes, of course it was. Happy ending. Butterflies and rainbows.
The final voice line showed us that the grave in the corridors was not Saint's, but our grave. The grave of the Guardian that avenged Cade 6, and the grave that had a significant story, clearly. Does this mean we changed our path in time? Does this mean someone saved us? I'll let you
5
wait
years
for the My Name is
later.
Bite video that explains all of that, but for now, we knew one thing.
Wait, isn't that the thing from Final Shape where Cade saves us, right? Ergo sum? Like, we didn't know when he made this video, but yeah.
The quest gave us a weapon core. That core was to be returned to Saint 14, and the quest led us to change our fate and kill a boss in the Hollowed Layer Strike. However, this
Oh,
gave
this
us
strike,
what
man.
many had feared or thought it could.
Oh, he's gonna show the Chevy clip is so funny here, dude. Please tell me the Chevy clip is in here.
I imagine you understand.
Charges fire 3 spreads of kinetic slugs.
It takes a lot to piss Glad off, bro. This one.
I'm done.
This was not a sword at all. Actually, this was a weapon that was already planned on the roadmap a week from now. This was the Bastion. A fusion rifle kinetic shotgun hybrid. A weapon that shot hexagon forms and a weapon that players would be at Bungie's throat about. I want to say a couple of things before I ask your opinion, so hold on to it for just a second. The thing I can really appreciate is our roadmap isn't exactly as planned. We can jumpstart some pieces in it, making it more malleable. I mean, we literally jumped into the future to snag a weapon so everyone in the community could use it early. I also think the weapon is very unique and interesting. It has a new presence.
Holy glaze. Bro, Evan, you need to get a job at Krispy
to the
Kreme,
fusion
bro.
archetype and is
My
a blast
God.
to shoot. The problems that I and most of the community can probably agree on are as follows. I think if this weapon wasn't on the roadmap or had been data
It's good
mined,
now.
more people would
Back
love
then,
this
it was
weapon.
terrible. The only
I
thing it was good for back then was shooting blights. That's it. Or you could map people in PvP. But again, we don't talk about PvP.
also have a perspective of someone who chose to stay up all week to get it done. My choice, not Bungie's fault. I also felt that this puzzle, although not gate-kept, should have been more inclusive for the whole community. Remember, my perspective
I
was
would
a bit
agree.
jaded considering I was a part of the core of it. The other thing was that I felt we were teased with the sword, and trust me, if this isn't over and we do get the sword, expect a video on that. But the sword was on our grave and etched into it for a reason. Saint called it our favorite weapon, and yeah, it was. We killed
5
Oryx in
years
his
later.
original form to have the chance to unlock swords, so getting Bastion just felt odd because we've never used it before. Also, the dialogue at the end. Saint says this weapon will never be used against a Guardian again, but this thing slays in Crucible and is not very good inside of strikes and raids.
Yeah, maps.
No matter what, when you have a puzzle like this and players don't get exactly what they want, you can't please everyone with the reward. I just wish some things were changed. I appreciate
Peak
the new
Sweatcicle.
approach to an exotic lock behind a puzzle, as this ties story and gameplay in very well, and it leads me to believe Bungie is getting more creative than ever in their storytelling. I just still feel perplexed by this, and I'm scared that after Niobe Labs demotivating players to want to help with puzzles, and now with this reward to many feeling like it missed the mark, that player participation will go away for these slowly, and I don't want the puzzles to go away, because for me, I didn't care what the prize was. I just enjoyed the puzzle with the people I met. That sounds really corny in my head. Like I said before,
Yeah, it was
making a
pretty corny.
dark mode in the reveal room and adding a spot for players to take screenshots would have helped a lot for data, but also maybe adding an in-game map to the area to update our progression. And please, don't put a sword in the grave. What did you think about the puzzle and reward? I think it's important to keep an open mind about this one. I think in general, Say No to Rage summed up the whole experience pretty well.
Think about, that's the Destiny community. This event is a picture of the Destiny community. You have like a smaller group of really hardcore, insanely dedicated players, and then it fringes out from that. Lesser and lesser engagement, right? You have these circles that just span out all the way to the edges of like mom and dad who play a couple hours a night. And the beautiful piece about the way they built this is we all needed each other for this to happen. That hardcore dedicated group in the middle that was coming up with spreadsheets and algorithms and programs, right? We needed every edge. We needed the 1 hour a night players to send their pictures in. We needed the people that like played a little bit but could pay attention to Twitter and look for bounties. Like we need it's a picture of the community, because there's just layers of engagement and there's layers of hardcore casual in the community, and we all needed each other. It never would have gotten done without it.
Okay.
This is the "Where Are We Now" portion of the video, and to be honest, this one may turn into a part 2 if Bungie releases something else on the 28th of January, because we just got Bastion early, but who knows. Bungie received a lot of flack for the reward at the end, and I think your perspective on it comes from which type of player you were during all of this.
Deserved
if you were in the
criticism,
position
to
of
be
the
clear.
hardcore bunch, you probably aren't too happy with the reward, but if you had been lightly following and then scooped your reward, you probably didn't have all that much care for it. Bungie also released a post that they will be closing the Corridors of Time starting the 28th as well, so the puzzle will never be able to be seen again, and I personally feel like it's erasing all of the work we put in as a community. But they're probably just prepping the area for the end of the season content, so I can't make a judgment yet. As of this current reset, players don't even need to run the 30 sequence code anymore. They can just pick up the quest from Saint 14 at any time, making the work put in by the community feel like it's also being lost in time.
Now you
I
can
think
get
going
it from
forward, this needs
the
to not be the
kiosk.
case, as it's things like this that really allow the player base to appreciate the work to get there. It just feels hand-holdy to me is all, especially given that the 28th, the quest would still be there with Saint 14 anyways. The moral of this story is not just expectations versus reality, but more so unity and, even more, community. We quite literally formed together as an entire community.
Okay, before we get into this epilogue, I'd like to rewind a little bit and say that a lot of people got screwed out of doing the Bastion quest, and I was one of them. Okay? When you went to pick up that quest from Saint 14 to get Bastion, you could only progress if you did all the story missions, which I actually did, but I ended up deleting one of my characters for a charity incentive. So when I went to pick up the quest, I had to do the whole story over again. And then I got to do the Bastion quest. And then we shot Callus, and then I went to bed at like 6 a.m. and cried myself to sleep.
community on this one and work together to reach into the future and snag an exotic. How cool is that? The end of this is also bittersweet for me, because I met a ton of amazing people from all over, and I get to hopefully do justice in sharing those people's stories. Hopefully as many as I could. All I know is that I hope more puzzles come to us in the future, and I hope we can all work together again. Through the ups and downs, the rewards, the feelings, one thing was made clear. This united us all.
Feel strong, man.
If you did enjoy this story, a like would be greatly appreciated, as well as a subscription.
I'll think about it.
We're getting close to partner on Twitch, so if you want to catch me live, just click the link at the top of the description and follow me there. Anyways, next video will be a lot less time waiting, and I appreciate all the support. Blooper time.
How do you know which piece goes where? Huge question. I don't know yet. I mean, I sort of do, but I really don't.
So good and tasty.
See, I don't
Dude,
think
it's
Bungie
the
would
shoe
make this
head
a
guy.
19-hour
That's my
thing.
teammate.
That's just me.
Thanks for the 74, Mr. G Lad.
Okay, that's good.
I got a question. How did I get volunteered for that reference, Lona? Trying to say something?
Because you're actually on top of me in the sheet.
Oh, good. Gotta get the laughs going, right?
Look at this quad guy.
What can I say? I like a big strong dude. I mean, what can
Yo.
I'm gonna go back through and get everything. Oh.
Ah! DMCA! You got rolled in smoke, though.
Oh, thanks, Kagura. Oh no!
Okay.
Damn. The fucking music comes in. There's no stairs for me to hide under.
It's literally just.
What the fuck?
Whoa, what the?
I made that joke earlier.
What the hell was that?
Excuse me?
That was funny.
Guys, is the shirt you wearing? Is it felt?
Why is Paris so loud? It's a
Touch
good
it,
question.
make sure. It is now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, there's the kid. This is him shooting me with the confetti cannon, bro. I'm sleeping in the corner. I was not unfazed. I felt it, but
Get better at these Thomas.
Dude, I've been practicing, and it's going alright, you know?
I'm actually like learning how to play this thing properly.
You trying to play a little sea shanty with me?
dude, Evan also forgot I had the didgeridoo as well, bro. We would use that for night shift. If you remember, you remember. I don't know if the clips are out there.
This thing's kind of getting low on batteries, so whenever you're ready.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah! Alright, Chad, if you guys enjoy that, make sure you go check out Evan. I live with him, and he's bald. All that good stuff. Hey, YouTube, if you want to see more reacts, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks, please. I'm begging you. Times are tough.